Hello! I'm so glad you could join us today. If it hasn't been clear yet, life design and design thinking are two processes that need a lot of creativity and thinking outside of the box. Some students wanted to take that idea even further, and they all worked on their ideas in a virtual BGSU campus on a Minecraft server. We're going to have a wide variety of topics that include recycling, more accessibility, and even a skate park behind Kreischer. But we're not limiting this to the BGSU campus. We also have some projects that are based outside of campus, like housing and community building. These topics are super cool, and I know you're going to love them as well. Come on, I'll show you around, and then I'll let our friends take over from here. Let's get this party started.
Do you know the pain of walking around for 10 minutes looking for a trash can? You're in a hurry trying to eat a quick snack before your next class. When you're finished, you have to hold on to your trash because the next trash can is all the way across campus. Or how about looking around at the ground and finding garbage everywhere? Snack wrappers, soda cans, and water bottles. Litter the ground all around campus. This shows current students that campus is not clean. To make sure students have a great experience on BGSU campus, one main thing is to increase the amount of trash cans and recycling bins outside of academic buildings. We decided to put more trash cans and recycling bins around campus while also creating a good way to transport it all efficiently. For our design thinking process, we need to accept that changing people's minds won't be a quick and easy solution. We must empathize with realization that these changes are costly and can be disregarded by lack of knowledge about the situation. We took the time to define that there are lack of environmentally friendly options around campus. One way to ideate is to add more trash cans and recycling bins where most students frequently travel. One of the many prototypes we came up with was a more efficient trash system. We would like to talk to BG Green, which is an environmentally friendly organization on campus. An effective test we think would work is putting more trash cans and recycling bins outside of each residential hall during summer break and try to build a trash system to up trail when there are constructions going on at the same time. As we were going through the design process, we started realizing that adding more trash cans around would increase the amount of labor. We started thinking, what if there was a way to add more trash cans and appease the labor problem that we ran into? What if there was a way to get all the trash and recyclables from one trash can to another without human labor involved? Let us introduce our final prototype, the trash pickup rail system. We took inspiration from a modern-day subway system and thought maybe we could do something similar except for trash. We were able to connect all the trash cans on campus to an underground rail system, and when something gets thrown away, it'll be transported to a central dumping station where it can be collected by the garbage recycling truck and taken off campus. We hope you can see a deeper understanding of how we want to help BGSU become more environment friendly. We wanted to make a better system for the future at BGSU campus if there is more funding. Thanks for taking the time to listen to our solution.
For our Life Design Community Good project, our team, Scavenger Hunt Pros, has collaborated with the team Holy Guacamole. We've been working to make the education building on campus more accessible to students, especially to those who may have and struggle with physical disabilities. Both of our groups chose to do this Life Design project because we wanted to promote more accessibility across the entire Bowling Green State University campus, and we felt that the education building was a good starting point. This building has some notable features that aren't easily accessible, such as cramped and outdated elevators, as well as there only being one side of entry to the building that doesn't have a staircase. We felt especially inclined to focus on the education building when we learned that a standard-sized ambulance stretcher is unable to fit within the elevator. We think that our project will benefit the public good because we want everyone on campus to feel like they have equal access to the same buildings and resources. We hope that in designing this project, we will inspire inclusion of all students, staff, and people on campus, and that everyone feels like they have a safe, accessible environment to grow in during their year spent at BGSU. I'll go ahead and show you around our education building. Start with the outside. We wanted to add a couple of ramps outside the building to people so people with accessibility issues can access the inside of the building without having to search for an entrance and stairs. We added 2 ramps to each side of the building that have entrances. Inside our education building, we tried to make it look a lot like the current building. You walk in, and the first noticeable difference is we made the elevator bigger. We added handrails to the walls for more stability and better lighting. We did this because when there are 3 people in the elevator normally, it's really cramped. Plus, that way, if an emergency happens and paramedics need to get to someone on a higher floor, they can fit in there. The elevator needed to be bigger, so we tried our best to show that here. Next, we're going to move on to a classroom. We kept them fairly the same, because the classrooms are fairly accessible as they are. We did add doors with pressure plates, so just making the doorways more accessible. We've kept the whiteboards, the teacher's desk, and the student desks in the classrooms. I'll go ahead and show you some of the other floors on this building. While I'm doing that, I hope we were able to show you why the education building needs to be more accessible. Collaborating with Holy Guacamole helped us learn about working together. Getting into the building is hard for those who may have accessibility issues. Plus, if you're trying to fit more than 3 people in an elevator, it gets a little cramped. We think that the classrooms in the education building are fairly accessible as they are, so we kept them fairly the same. I feel it is very important to have this campus be more accessible, and we thought the education building would be a great start. From Scavenger Hunt Pros team, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you take our idea into consideration.
So our project was aimed toward recreating the education building, but to be more accessible to students who may have physical challenges or limitations. We tried to recreate the building with as much attention to detail as we could, so I really hope you like it. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and start the tour of some of the features that we implemented in the building. So the first major thing we added were more ramps. As you may or may not know, the education building is surrounded by stairs just like this, except for like one little corner where there is a ramp. We wanted to make the building more convenient by introducing more ramps around the building. So as you see, we got one over here, we got one here, and we got one over here. So more accessible entrances to the building. You'll have to imagine a little bit here, as obviously we can't do a perfect slope in Minecraft, but we managed to combat this by using snow to have a nice smooth walk up to the front door. So the next thing that we added to the building were accessible doors. So obviously, someone who would be in a wheelchair or on crutches would likely have a hard time or struggle with opening doors. So we wanted to make that easier on them by adding doors that you don't have to put any work in. You just walk up to the door, the door's open. Nothing else to it, but it makes walking through and exiting the building far more easier than it was before. Now that we're in the building, we'll go ahead and walk over to the next big thing that we implemented, and that is to increase the size of the elevators. The reason why we wanted to make bigger elevators was because currently in the building right now, the elevators are quite tiny. I'd estimate they'd at most fit 4 to 5 people. Obviously, for someone who may be in a wheelchair, that would likely be not enough room. So we wanted to create a larger elevator so that there is plenty of space. And another benefit to this is it also improves general safety. So if there was ever a medical emergency on one of the upper floors of the building, emergency personnel would be able to fit equipment like a stretcher in here in order to attend to that emergency. So a little unexpected benefit there, so it improves the safety of the building. And if we walk on over here, one of the last things we also did, very minor, but we noticed some of the doors in the building were quite small in terms of width, so we decided to extend that, and we added another door to most of the classrooms. So now you are able to walk through the door with plenty of space. And of course, we also made the doors accessible as well, just like the front entrances. So that'll just about do it for the tour of the building. I really hope you liked it. We are excited about the project, and I hope you enjoyed checking it out with us. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.
Welcome to the Rodfather Fan Club's presentation, where we are creating public good through the Recreation Center to better support BGSU students' physical health and well-being. This team consists of Emma Welsh, Carson Peters, Jillian Setti, Connor O'Donnell, and Alicia Rubufo. All of the things we have implemented will benefit the students and also help with recruitment to BGSU.
I am going to take you through the renovated rec center. In the entrance, we added different gates to replace the old turnstile entrances. We expanded the weight area to allow more space for students to move throughout the gym. We hired more workers to allow the rec center to be open more hours each day, and we provided them with better pay and benefits. We also added BGSU nutrition. This is where students can get a protein shake or energy drink while enjoying their time at the rec. We added more glass paneling around the pool to be able to watch our BG swim team in action.
I'll be taking you through the upstairs section of the rec. So up here, as you can see, we added even more space so that the students working out can have a less overwhelming experience. Also, as you can see, we added a bunch more workers so that students can have easy access if they ever need help. We added skylights to bring in more natural lighting, and we also built an all-girls room so that the girls who feel uncomfortable working out with everyone have a safe environment where they are more than able to do what they want to do and however they want to do it.
We have learned through this project that we needed to accept that funding was limited. It required time and patience and interfered with the exercise routines of students already settled. We were to empathize with the higher-ups who control the systems of the rec. We defined this project as an increase in the students' well-being and an increase in further recruitment as it draws attention to BGSU students. Another point to take in was that for this prototype, we should have talked to BGSU students, campus planning and operations, division of wealth and well-being, student employment, staff and workers in the rec, and President Rogers. The rec center instills discipline, healthy exercise habits, teamwork, and is a good way for students to get out of their dorms and socialize. In order for students to feel safe in a physical, social environment, employees should be paid more, and an update in the rec center is important.
Hello. This project was made by Lily, Ellie, Maddie, Mason, and me, Matt. And we are part of Dan's BGSU 1910 Life Design class. And for our project, we decided to build a Starship elevator. So for our project, we wanted to make a Starship elevator so that food can be delivered directly to your dorm room without having to go outside. This would make things a lot easier and more accessible for students who are either sick, either have disabilities, or if it's really cold out, just don't want to leave their dormitory. So there are many steps of the design thinking process, and to start off, we're going to start with, well, step one, which is accept. Something that we would have to accept is that this will be an expensive investment. It would have to get approved by upper administration, and the Starship software company may have to update their Starship programming to allow for the Starships to enter dormitories. The next step in the design thinking process is empathy. We must understand that this project is not really a priority. We must empathize with the people who must update the software and construct the elevators, as we know that this will take time. The next step is ideate. This project includes the involvement of many people on campus. We will have to talk to many people also on campus and get it approved to ensure that it will work with most dorms. So whether it's the newest dorms like Centennial or the older dorms such as Cole Hall. The next step in the design thinking process is test. We would like to test our project on Offenhauer Towers. We think that most students who live in Offenhauer would use this system the most because it's the tallest dorm. And since it's the tallest dorm, students would have to climb the most amount of flights. And the last step in the design thinking process is prototyping. For this project, we would have to talk with the Starship company. We would need to ensure that this would even work and make any changes with the Starship programming to make sure that this system will work efficiently. So after talking about the multiple steps in the design thinking process, now I'm going to show you guys how the elevator would work. So as we can see here, our starships. To build a starship in Minecraft, it would be very big, so we scaled it down, and it's being represented, as the sign says, with a minecart. So in the minecart, we have lots of food that say a student ordered. So what would happen is the starship would go on its track, and it would go in that little hole in the side of the dorm, because starships are smaller than people, and they would only need a smaller elevator. As we can see, we have our person in our dorm right here. Pardon my Minecraft skills. I'm still a little bit new to the game. Compared to other elevators in Offenhauer, we would put the Starship elevator right next to it because it's structurally the most sound. We'll climb our little ladder here. And as we can see, the same Starship with all the food is back, and it is right outside the dorm of the person who would have ordered it. Thank you for watching, and this is just a short demonstration of what we hope to achieve with our 1910 project. Thank you.
We are gift referees, and this is our skate park proposal. We chose to make a skate park to improve the public good and offer a place for students who skateboard, bike, or even rollerblade to have somewhere safe to take part in recreational activity. We chose this project because we saw that there was a lack of a space that catered to this community, which is growing on campus with each and every year. Without this park, skaters have lost out on a sense of community that other groups on campus have, such as the people who use the rec center. During the process of making this project, we had to accept a few things about the problem. Firstly, we had to accept the fact that there may not be the money for a skate park or time to make one right now due to all of the other construction projects. That there may not be enough space for one, there may not be any workers who could manage the park, and that BGSU may not really see the same benefit in the park that we might. After accepting these issues as something we needed to keep in mind, we moved on to empathize with two different groups on campus: the people who could use the park and the school administration itself. For the skaters, we ultimately came to find that, regardless of if they did it as a hobby or as a way to get around campus, having a park to skate in would be important not only to build community, but also to keep people safe. The reason is because there aren't many safe places on campus to skate, and without these spaces, skaters lose out on a sense of community that other people have found here. For BGSU administration, we had to realize that the skate park may not be something of priority for the campus, neither for time nor the money it would take to make this possible. They may also not see the use in a skate park for a group of students this small, because while it is true that more and more people are skating on campus year after year, it is still only a small population. But after looking at both sides of the issue, we redefined our problem as wanting to provide a space, both literally and figuratively, for skaters to belong on campus and feel that sense of inclusion and belonging that other people do. From here, we moved on to Ideate, where we decided that we wanted a large space that wouldn't feel or get too crowded. We wanted it to have an open environment, not be like caged or enclosed, and we wanted it to be in a confined space that we could try to redesign an already existing space on campus to put in. This is our proof of concept prototype. So, over here we have the Bowling Green Falcon Skate Park. As we move inside, we have two sets of rails here that we can use to, grind on and skate around and everything. And as we move along, we have this here, which has another bit of space where you could grind down, such as these stairs here, or inclines to jump down or go up. Here we have like a bowl where you could like drop in to skate around and use the edges to do tricks and stuff. And then as we come over here, we have a big half pipe where we could start from one end, go down, do tricks or anything along the way, get back up, do kinds of tricks, and go back and forth like that. And along the park, we have benches and places where you can sit and rest in between actually doing stuff in the park. So for prototyping this, we'll present this idea to campus ops, campus planning, recreation center management, and even to potential donors in order to get the fund for this project, since we realize that there may not be the money for it. Then, to test this park, we believe that a great space would be near Kreischer, possibly by where the basketball courts are, where we could kind of repurpose that and revamp that area. And the building period for the park could be done during summer break. Thank you. We hope that the skate park would be a nice solution to provide more groups on campus with a sense of belonging that we all wish for when we make friends and meet people. We appreciate the time that you've given to listen to us today. Thank you.
Hey, welcome back. See, I told you these projects were going to be awesome. Did you have any questions about any of the projects, or did you just think one was super cool and you wanted to talk to the group? Look for the group number in your program and you can get in contact with the group that made your project. Thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully you find some more projects that strike your fancy throughout your walkabout. Have a phenomenal rest of your day.